welcome back to the Light Channel. I'm Tamiko Denise, and if you're new, welcome. I wanted to come here and share some of the reasons why I decided to go into women's ministry, because everyone has always asked me, why women? Number one, why ministry? Number two, and I really wanted to share why I wanted to go into women's ministry and what kind of impact it had on my life, and just where the door opened for me to even wanted to go or begin ministry. So I'll start off by saying that I have always wanted to be in ministry since I was a child. I was one of the kids that, instead of going to children's church, I stayed out in the sanctuary. It wasn't the sanctuary because we were just like in a building at the time when I went to church. So I stayed out in the front with the adults and with the congregation. Instead of going to children's church, I just was always spiritually mature. And that's kind of where it started. But then I went to Liberty University. I got my undergrad and my master's at Liberty. So I got my undergrad in psychology clinical research, and I got my master's in pastoral counseling. So, funny story, I was in my senior year at Liberty, and I had to take an elective class. And so I was like, oh my God, why do I have to take an elective class? Like, I just want to be done. When you're in your senior year of college, like you're over it, you're done. Like you're just, the mentality is like, okay, I just need to get up out of here. And that's what my mentality was. Like, I just need to graduate. And then ironically, I stayed in Lynchburg and went back for my master's, and that's a whole nother story. But anyways, so I was like, okay, I'm just going to take an easy class because I don't got time to be studying for tests, all this other stuff. I was working a job. I was working like every day at my job while I was in school. And I was just like, I need something easy. I need an easy A, whatever. So I'm looking online, trying to sign up for my classes, and boom, there's women's ministry. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can take this class. This is easy. And it's at 10 o'clock. I don't have to wake up at freaking 7 o'clock to go to 7 o'clock classes, because at one point in time, there were 7:30 classes at Liberty, and that was a complete joke. Yeah, I almost missed every single class. My parents watch my videos, so mom and dad, sorry, but I got my degree, so that's all that matters. Anyways, so I signed up for this class. I was like, okay, this is gonna be a piece of cake. It's easy, whatever. I'm just gonna take this class. I've taken like 30 other Bible classes. How hard can women's ministry be? So I took this class thinking that I was just gonna fly through it, and it wasn't gonna be anything like that would stick with me forever. But let me tell you, this class made the biggest impact in my life. It rooted something in my life where it gave me the confidence in wanting to learn more about God, become a woman of Christ, and begin a ministry through it. And so I am so blessed and thankful for that class and for the Holy Spirit to guide me during that day of me wanting to cut corners, just moving through something where I was able to take a class that slowed me down and really helped me find my purpose. I just got a little choked up because it's just amazing how God works. And so I have my workbook from this class still. And if you went to Liberty, then you know all about these workbooks. You know that you have them and you are taking them for any Bible class that you took. Not world history, New Testament, Old Testament, Biblical Worldview 1, Biblical Worldview 2, all of those Bible classes. So when I first thought of ministry, I thought ministry was more so of serving in a church, having a huge church and doing ministry work through there, and that was it. And so I would always say to my roommate, you know, I want to start my ministry. I want to start this. I want to do this I want to do more into my ministry, and I really need to start it. And she would get so mad. And she was like, you do know, like, you're doing ministry work, right? And I was like, wow, okay, way to be rude. She's like, you're doing your ministry. Like, no matter what it looks like to you, like, you're encouraging others, you're working with others, you're serving others, you're doing things that God has asked you to do. You have a ministry already. Stop saying you want to start a ministry. And I was like, okay, but it's true. And even in my book right here, my workbook, it says women's ministry, what is it? And my professor had gave us 4 bullets, and I'll read those bullets. So the first one is women's ministry, what is it? And the first one says, a Christian woman who makes herself available to God. And that is so true. When we make ourselves available and we shrink to allow God to pour into us and allow God to just flow through us, that's when we start overflowing with the ideas. That's when we start getting the ideas, or the conferences in line, or the Bible studies in line, or having the courage to go up to that person in Starbucks and ask, are you doing okay today? Can I pray for you? That's what it's all about, making yourself available to God and allowing God to come into your life and letting Him help you serve the kingdom. That's not how I wanted it to come out, but it just came out that way. But I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so then the next one says, ministry is the act of expressing God's love and meeting needs of people who know Him or could be reached for Him. And like I said, it's just being able to express who God is, by serving, by having a conversation, by encouraging, by loving, by being intentional. Next one is ministry is any action that brings another closer to God. So again, like I said, like it's just all repeat, like it's just a repeated thing, but literally being able to be a light to people and show people what it's like to be loved, or what it's like to have patience, or what it's like to serve, even when, or to show grace. Oh my goodness, I think I have really just with my job of being a mentor and working with younger girls, and they see how I handle situations, and they're like, Miss Tamiko, like, why didn't you cuss them out? And I always tell them, you always have to have grace. You always have to have patience. Not everything needs a response. And being able to display what God looks like, or what the actions of God to others, and just allowing others to kind of shift their thoughts and shift their ways, and being able to say, wow, I want to be able to be like that. I want to know more. I want to know what she's reading that helps her be calm, or helps her to have this confidence. And this last one says women's ministry, and it says equals, just bear with me because I'm just reviewing this over, but women's ministry equals when women reach out to the needs of others. And sometimes we have to do that. Sometimes we know that people are hurting, and we kind of just walk past, or just not acknowledge things. And while doing women's ministry and growing into women's ministry and meeting new people, is that we as women go through a lot. And I'm not saying men don't go through a lot either, but we go through a lot, whether it's depression, whether it's suicidal thoughts, whether it's an eating disorder, whether it's not feeling comfortable in our body, whether we feel unworthy, whether we've gone through rape, molestation, miscarriages, postpartum depression, our child is acting up, our child is delayed. We just go through so much, and that's why I have drawn close to women. And the reason why I truly wanted to start women's ministry is because at the time when I was in undergrad, I would meet so many girls who were beautiful, but so broken inside. And we were so broken just because of our insecurities, and just because we were in bad relationships, and relationships that made us feel like we were nothing, but we stayed in them because we had someone. And I just remember like talking to girls, and like they'll be like, yeah, like I'm with this person, but he's cheated on me so many times, and I just feel unpretty. And I don't think for a second as God's children or God's daughters should ever feel that way. And a lot of us become down. A lot of us just kind of loses ourselves with just trying to fit the in crowd, or trying to be something we're not. And so that is why I really grew close to wanting to empower women and encourage women, and be an inspiration to other women, because our stories are so different, but they align together. And I really truly believe, and it's always been said, that when women come together versus going against one another, we become a stronger unit. And so that is why I initially went into women's ministry, because I want to help women spread their light and spread love and spread encouragement, and help them become the best that they can become, and get through what they're going through. I have been a part of depression. I know what it's like to be stuck in your room. I know what it's like to lose 15 pounds in 2 weeks because you're not eating, and you feel so sick and anxious. And I know what it's like to feel like I'm not good enough, or ugly, or I know what it's like to belittle myself, or feel awkward in a room full of other girls because I'm thick, or because I'm a little bit bigger than the other girls and everyone else is tiny. So if I can just be able to encourage women to love themselves whole and love themselves as how Jesus loves them, then I feel like my work has been done. So that's just why I wanted to go into women's ministry, and why I felt so called to go into women's ministry, because I just feel like I said, we as women have to come together and love one another and encourage one another, and just push each other to be the best that they can be. So that is all. That is all I have, and I just want to let you guys know, remember, whatever you're doing, it is ministry. That's it. I hope you all have a great day, great night, whatever it is, whenever you watch this video. I hope I was able to help someone who's struggling with ministry and trying to figure out what it is and what it looks like. You got this, and you are doing your ministry work. So that's all. Bye, guys.